in the word itself it says, right, master in the test automation means I'm not going to teach you only about the test or Selenium, which is a test automation tool. I'm going to teach you a real-time project with a real-time project, so that there are so many other things which are required for the test automation in order to be successful. Even if you're going for an interviews, there is no interview only for Selenium. Is there any interview only for Selenium? Only for Selenium. Is companies expecting only
No,
Selenium? They want
no, no.
so many things. They want so many things to be part of the skill set. So that Selenium is the major skill set, and there are some other subset skill sets which are required in order to fulfill the project, so that we can take the Selenium to the next level. That's why what I have thought is, okay, let's place all the things together. So let's place a training course, and I placed a name for it, Masters in Test Automation. How is it? I'm going to give you a degree for all of you. Sounds interesting, right? It's not bachelor's. I'm directly going to give you master's. Okay, before going to that, I just gave you a high level idea about how I'm going to give more details, but I just gave a brief description about this master's in test automation, why it is. And I would like to give you 1 minute why you want to take this training. Okay, please think of it for 1 minute. After that, I will go ahead. Just think for 1 minute.
Hi, Rakesh.
Yeah, 1 minute. I will ask people.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
The company still require you to know the automation also.
Yeah, that's good. 1 point. Okay, how about others? Vinusha.
Mm,
No, if you
compare
know,
than
yeah, go ahead.
compare than manual testing, automation is. I mean, today's today's generation we can use more automation, right? Example, web applications.
Mhm. Got it.
Mm,
Yeah, I got it. Got it. Okay, let me start the demo with the testing part. You're talking about manual testing, automation testing. These are all the derived terms from a great term called as testing. With this testing, majorly we can achieve two things. One is whether we can adhere requirements. Customer will give some requirements, whether the application which you are testing with adhering with the customer requirements or not. And the second one is user friendly. Suppose you went to a mobile store to buy a brand new iPhone. Initially what you will do, you will just navigate to all the folders in the sense all the applications which are inbuilt with iPhone, and you will check whether the feasibility, right, whether the required apps of me are there in iPhone or not. If all the features which you are expecting are there in iPhone, then you are going to buy iPhone. That is requirements. It met your requirements. That is the first thing. And the second thing is user friendly. If you want to open music, you are able to open music. If you are able to open messages and send a multimedia message, you are able to do. You want to see the weather updates, you are able to get the notifications. See, we can easily do whatever we want to do with the application. That's why even day-to-day life we are doing testing, isn't it? Are we not doing testing? Everywhere. Whenever we go shopping or anywhere, we are going to do testing. That's why it is broadly classified in nomenclature two types. One is manual testing and the other one is test automation. There is no word called as automation testing. Okay, it's called as test automation. Now the word manual indicates, what does that mean? everything you're doing manually. That means if you see, I opened a notepad here. After that, I'm writing all the things manually. This is called, and if I'm testing this is called as manual testing. That means I'm testing the notepad. If I'm typing from the keyboard, whether I'm able to type in the notepad or not. That is called the manual. But whereas test automation means if you are doing some things automatically, that means with the help of some tools and programming language, if you are automating it, no need of human intervention. Anything which is done without human intervention, that is called as automation. Here we are using some tools and programming language for doing test automation. That is the broad difference area. And why next question is, although manual is there, why you people are going to test automation? Because manual testing is required forever and test automation is crucial, because if the application is stable 50 to 60%, then we need to automate some scenarios so that every time if you want to run 500 test case, no need to run manually. Just trigger a button so that automatically all the 500 test cases will run within 1 or 2 hours. It's good, right? If it runs 1 or 2 hours, we'll get the results, so that we'll get the results accurately, and mostly there will be very less issues. They are very reliable. And what about the cost? If you want to execute 500 test cases, you will take 3.5 days or 3 days minimum. But if you do automation, we can get the results in 2 hours. Isn't it good? Automation is good, right? But you need to place one thing in mind. Whenever the application is stable 50 to 60%, you need to go for automation. Hope I have covered the areas like what are the different types of testing, manual, automation, and why we are going for automation, and when we can do automation. Why we want to do automation? To reduce the cost, budget, time, we are going to do automation. And if you want to go for automation, the application should be at least 50 to 60% stable, because if it is not stable, automatically again you want to do rework. That's why we want to make sure 50 to 60% stable. Yes, now you got testing, manual, test automation, and you are heading toward test automation. Now you are in a correct path. We are in a company, you got a project to automate it. You already did manual testing for it. You want to do test automation. Then manager asked you, hey, we should do test automation. Could you please come with some process and ideas? This is the actual scenario which is going to happen in the companies, right? This is how the managers ask the people. Then you got some process. Okay, I want to do about test automation. I know about application. I know about all the use cases scenarios. Let me take the application. You can take the same application, all well-known application, Amazon. You can see the use case scenarios like search, login, logout, checkout, payment, filtering different types of tasks. All these things you are aware. Now you want to do test automation. So how to deal with test automation? What are the different types of programming languages available? What are the different types of tools available? Let me come with the tools. Now you are thinking, what are the different types of tools I can acquire so that I can do test automation? Tools are broadly classified into two types. One is open source and the other one is commercial. In the open source area, there is Selenium, Water, and there are some other tools also. And in commercial space, HP UFT, Unified Functional Testing. Previously it is called as QTP. IBM RFT, SmartBear Test Complete, Telerik. In the same way, there are so many other automation tools which are available in commercial too. And now you got a doubt. Hey, there are so many tools available for doing test automation. Which tool I need to prefer? Here comes the big question. Companies majorly they want to invest money and they want to get more tasks with less money, right? Then what they will think is mostly they will go ahead with the open source if that is satisfying your needs. Here comes the question, another question I'm going to answer. Why you want to go and opt Selenium for doing test automation? For both these questions, now I'm going to explain. One question is which tool to prefer, and the second question is why I want to go ahead and opt only Selenium. And now, because why you want to go ahead and opt Selenium? First thing is open source, so that no need to pay any money to them, because if you're going and opting the commercial tools, you need to pay some money as a license. That money is also as part of the budget. Hope you all know these things, right? That's why majority of the companies preferring open source. When they will prefer open source? When that open source is going to satisfy their needs. Okay, that's why we are going to opt open source. I mean say Selenium, so that since it is a open source, and since programming language support. What is programming language support? Hey, I know Java, I know C Sharp, someone knows Ruby, someone knows Python, someone knows Perl. That's why Selenium supports so many languages, Java, C Sharp. If you are a Microsoft guy, you can go ahead with C Sharp, Python, Perl, and Ruby. So Selenium is providing apps and features you can write in any programming language. We can choose as per your needs. And as a tester, in the world, there are so many things. Someone uses Chrome, someone uses Microsoft Internet Explorer, recently Edge browser is there, and someone uses Safari, someone uses Google Chrome. Who knows from which part of the world, what is the browser where they are going to use? That's why Selenium is providing a beautiful interface so that with one script, we can test different browsers. That is we call it as cross browser support. Fourth one, people around the globe, they will use different types of operating systems. Someone uses Mac, someone uses Linux, someone uses Windows. Selenium provides an awesome feature which we can support in multiple platforms. We can test in Mac, Linux, and Java. Single script we can run there. I will don't bother. I will tell you all these things, how to do it and all. Okay. And the fifth one, which is a very useful one. Although it is an open source, there is a community. Suppose what people will feel is if there is any issue, no one will support in the open source. People are there to support in the commercial. But since Selenium is a large community, there is a bugs history. I mean, so there is a page for which we can log bugs. They will go, there are some people which they will look into the bugs and they will truly do it, but it will take some time. These are the some of the and the very important feature, distributed testing. Nowadays, people are moving to cloud. Everyone wants to cloud. They don't want to invest in the infrastructure also. That's why there are some other things which are providing cloud services so that you can integrate it, you can run in any other system also. That means you can develop the scripts in your local machine, you can run the same scripts in some other machines. These are the major advantages. Now, hey, you are going to speak only the advantages. I can opt for Selenium, but I want to know the disadvantages. If there is a disadvantage, how you are going to fulfill it? First disadvantage, Selenium doesn't have any inbuilt editor. There is no user interface. You can see Notepad is an editor. I am able to write. Selenium, since it is a library, it doesn't provide any editor to write the scripts. Then where we are going to write the scripts? If there is no editor, how you are going to write the scripts? That's $1 million question. Here comes the solution for it. There is some free open source editors which you can use it. We are going to use Eclipse IDE. You can see this is the Eclipse IDE. If you are going to use Eclipse IDE so that you can write your Selenium scripts using Eclipse IDE so that the problem is resolved. So that the IDE, what is the features of IDE? You can write the scripts, you can run the scripts, you can view the results, and you can install the plugins, whatever you want to get better output. All these things the editor is going to give. And the second thing, Selenium is not able to provide any reporting. I want to see the reports, how many test cases passed, how many test cases failed, if there is any dependencies, how many test cases skipped, if there is any exception thrown. I would like to know the exception, if there is any test data being used. All these things I want to know through the reporting, but Selenium, unfortunately, it is not able to provide reporting. Now here comes the picture. There are some open source tools, libraries which we can integrate with it called as extend reports. And there is a unit testing framework called TestNG which is also having inbuilt report, or we can use extend reports. So that what will happen, we can attach a screenshot to the report, we can attach the messages, we can attach how many test cases passed, failed, skipped, and it will say what is the duration of the test time taken to run all the tests. What require more than in the reporting, right? We can fulfill this by integrating the extend reports to the our framework. That is called a framework. And third thing, execution batch. Hey, there are 500 test cases. How you are going to execute? Selenium doesn't have any inbuilt engine to run the scripts. We are able to write the scripts. Selenium doesn't have inbuilt engine to run all the scripts as a batch. Or you know the test case, right? It consists of prerequisites, post-requisites. Someone need to be executed first, someone need to be executed at the end, someone need to be executed at the middle part as preconditions, post-conditions, test case. All these things we can't control the program, we can't execute the program as a batch, so that if you can trigger, all the 500 test cases should be run. Those kind of engines cannot be provided by Selenium. That's why we are going to integrate a unit testing framework called as TestNG to our framework, which makes our life easier so that we can execute the test cases as a batch, we can control the program, we can handle the exceptions, and we can have inbuilt reporting with this TestNG also. And there are so many features. Priority, we can execute the test cases in priority, we can enable, disable. There are so many requirements given by the companies, right? I want to execute some set of test cases, I don't want to execute all the test cases. I want in that all the test case, I want to execute only scenario, I don't want to execute remaining scenarios. I want to execute test case 10 first, test case 9 second, test case 1 at the end. These are so many crazy requirements which are given. All these things we can fulfill using this TestNG unit testing framework, so that we can integrate it and get the use of it. And the fourth one is softwares and execution. Softwares, majorly softwares, compilation. Majorly, Selenium is not able to provide any softwares to download automatically. It doesn't provide any way to download the softwares. Why we need to download the softwares automatically? Because today there is a version 2.53 came into market. Tomorrow again 3.0 came into market. That means you will again go and download 3.0 manually, right? And suddenly 3.5.2 came into market. Again you need to go download 3.5.2. But that's not the actual scenario, right? If whatever the software we need to use, we need to check the forward compatibility, backward compatibility, so that we are going to use Maven which is a project management tool. Project management tool. So that what it will do, just give me the version name so that I can automatically download for you. And I have beautiful plugins so that you can use my compiler plugin. I can compile all your issues and I will give you the problems. And I will trigger your test engine automation suite also, so that you can use me and you can trigger your suites. So that there are so many things which Maven provides. You can automatically download the softwares. You can trigger the test cases by using it. It's used as a project management tool rather than a build tool. Okay, we are going to discuss that. It's a con since Selenium is not able to provide. And logging. Selenium doesn't provide any logging. Suddenly, at 94th step, at search test case, something happened. But if there is no logging, who will help you that how you will get to know, how you can do root cause analysis, how you can debug it. All these things cannot be done, right, with Selenium. But there is a library for it called as log4j. Through log4j, we can log the messages, like we can log informational, warning, fatal messages, whatnot we can log, so that it will give a clear-cut idea at what line, what test case, what package, all these things it will give, so that directly we'll go there and see what is the issue, whether it is not able to find the element. Okay, slowly you will get all those things and all. Okay, these are the little bit pros and cons. Did I making sense, folks? Are you loving it? For now, I will continue.
Yeah, you can continue.
Yes, yes, of course.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yes, okay. These are the pros and cons I would like to highlight. See, now you got the answer for the question, like why people are going for Selenium rather than going for commercial tools. And you need to keep one thing in mind. If companies are asking Selenium testers or the people who knows about Selenium, if you know these all things as part of Selenium, now I'm going to discuss, so that it will give a good, and by seeing your resume itself, they will get good impression. Okay, let me go ahead and describe about how our course content goes. There is a programming language called Java. I will tell you during the course why we have chosen Java, especially because since it is a platform independent, we can write in one machine, we can run anywhere. We can write in Windows, it will run in Mac, it will run in Linux also. That's why we have chosen Java as a programming language. No need of any basics for you also. I'm going to teach Java basics, like from data types, string methods, arrays, exception handling, OOPS concepts like inheritance, abstraction, encapsulation. There are whatnot. There are so many things. And what is a collections framework? Whatever required for a testers. Even though if you don't have any prior knowledge on Java, I'm going to teach the same thing as part of training. Because if I'm directly going ahead and taking the Selenium classes, it will be little bit confusing because you don't know what is Java and all. What I will do is I will parallelly manage the Java based concepts as well as Selenium based concepts, so that I can correlate it. If I'm going to use one feature, so I'm going to explain the Java feature. And some days I will explain with the class some Java concepts only, so that by end of the class he will know some Java concepts which are really have some useful features which are required for a testers. Okay, core Java which are required for testers I'm going to teach. And after that, since nowadays so many web applications came into picture, you also as a tester should know about what is HTML, hypertext markup language, what are the different types of tags available, or what is meant by drop down text field. If you don't know what is a drop down text field or button or anything, it's very difficult to automate, right? That's why I will explain some basic HTML concept, how they are going to create HTML page, what are the different types of headings, paragraphs. I will give you a sample. I mean, say there is a small class for it. After that, anyways, you got the manual and test automation overview, right? Are you able to get that? Mostly those are the
Yeah.
things, but if you folks ask me, I will go ahead in little bit in depth and describe about auto overview, but mostly this is a manual and test automation overview. And here comes the picture, Selenium overview. I explained you the disadvantages, advantages, right? Like that. And after that, it consists of agile overview also, because nowadays people, they are using agile in their projects. So many students of me, they learned Selenium and they learned other concepts, and immediately they are in the company, they are so confused and so frustrated to follow the process. If you are joining as an experienced person, you should know about some process, right? That's why what I am going to do is, in the course itself, I will share my experience. I will tell you what is meant by agile methodology, how the process is going to be there in the agile methodology, what is the meetings, what are the different types of ceremonies which are there, how we are going to react, all those things. And as part of Selenium, I'm going to teach you about Selenium WebDriver, which consists of inbuilt packages to automate the application, automatically enter all the fields and all. After that, as I said, distributed testing, there is other component of Selenium called as Selenium Grid. Okay, I'm going to explain that. As I said, unit testing framework we are going to integrate in order to have controlling the program, enable run some group of test cases, having some beautiful reporting, having exception handling mechanisms, having assertions, mainly verifications. That is a part of tester's job, right? All these things we are going to do using TestNG. I'm going to explain that. After that, I'm going to explain you about project management tool, which can automatically download, compile, all those things. Maven, which is a project management tool. And here comes the big tool. Now you heard about DevOps, right? Development operations and all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place a tool called Jenkins, which is used in the DevOps cycle, so that what is the main use of this Jenkins is, hey, you have written 500 test cases, awesome. You have integrated Maven and you can trigger, awesome. But I want to run the test cases daily. I want to send notifications to the customers daily. I want to run manually, or I want to run them exactly at 8 o'clock daily. You want to do all these things, right? This is called as continuous integration. I will explain in detail, in very detail. For that, we are going to use a tool called Jenkins. I will tell you, no problem, how to configure all those things in Jenkins. Anyways, we are going to write all our scripts in Eclipse IDE, which is an editor. I will tell you how to run, how to write, how to create a project, all those things. And reporting, as I said, how many test cases passed, run, what is the test case time, what is the screenshot, what is the messages. I will tell about reporting by using extent reports. And logging, I will tell you how to log messages by using log4j library, log4j, here extent reports. And finally, by utilizing all the things, we need to have some framework. There are some frameworks like modular driven, test data. If you want to have test data from an external source first, data driven, and there is a design pattern called as POM, page object model. I will tell you in detail. Since it is a demo, I'm just keeping it as POM. If we can need to create different pages, all those things. And finally, by utilizing all those things, how you can prepare a hybrid framework customized to your own, right? You need to customize. If I want to do something, I can do it. And finally, to locate all the elements, there is a concept called as object repository. I will tell you, for POM we can have inbuilt objects, but for other frameworks we need to maintain object repository. Don't bother about the key terms and terminologies which I'm using here. This is just, I'm just saying about how we are going to deal with the parts. Okay. On a glance, by end of this course, you can be master in this test automation. Are they good, folks? Because you're not only learning Selenium here, on a whole package. If you want to place on your resume, it will contain You know about Java, you know about little bit about HTML, you know about overviews, you know about manual, what is manual, test automation, Selenium, you know about how we can do with agile projects. Anyways, if you want to automate drop downs, text fields, you'll be knowing with the Selenium WebDriver. If you want to execute in remote machines, you'll be knowing about Grid. You'll be going extra mile rather than learning only about Selenium. You're knowing about TestNG, unit testing framework, Maven, project management tool, Jenkins, which is a CA tool, continuous integration tool. People are very excited nowadays with the DevOps. You should know it. And you are giving reporting, logging, what not, folks. If you place this, if you learn all these things, and there are some other things which may not be here and which are going to be discussed as part of training. See, if you are going to learn all these things, it's real time. I'm going to take one of your systems and I'm going to explain on your system or not on my system. That's one of the things I would like to share. And the first class will be the installations. Each and every system, all the software should be installed. I will tell you how to install all the softwares so that if I'm going to write the scripts on your machine so that you will be getting all the issues root from the scratch. If some software is missing, if some library is missing, or if something which is not able to identify, all the things we are able to easily identify, right? Because if I'm writing on my own laptop, I've seen some difficulties. Students are not able to install their softwares in their own machines. And students are not able to do the same thing. That's why what I have thought is, let me take the control of the student system and write the scripts there. If you see, I have opened Eclipse. The training will go like this. You can see I will be creating a project under training. You will be learning Java based scripts. You can see all the scripts here. I would just like to open one script here. Don't bother after seeing the script. Just see how the coding works, how we are going to discuss. See, everything we are going to describe using examples. Okay, and these are about Java concepts, and we are going to discuss about Selenium concepts also. There are so many other concepts. You can see I will tell you how to automate different browsers, Firefox, Chrome, IE, and how to execute single script with the different browsers. There are so many other things, customization, how to automate drop downs, checkboxes if there are multiple windows, how to automate form authentication, basic authentication, how to customize your browsers, and there are some highlights. Whatever there on the web application, I will tell you how to automate on it. Okay. And after that, test engine. There are so many features. You can see prioritization, groupings, execution multiple times. How to manage dependencies. Like if you want to log out, I mean say, there is a scenario if you are not able to log in, how you can are able to log out, right? We can maintain dependency mechanisms. All those things I am going to discuss with for everything there will be an example. Whatever the concept we are discussing, there will be an example. All things will be very, very practical. And moreover, the recording has been shared with you on daily basis so that you can watch the recordings and you can again ask me the questions. You can ask the questions even after the training also. Okay, by the end of the course, and don't ask me the course duration. Course duration will be up to your understanding. If you are able to understand, it will complete little bit quick. If you are not able to understand, it will take some time because I would like all to understand the concepts. Okay. By end of this course, you will get all these contents, whatever which I have placed here. I will just scroll from the top, and these are all the things which we are going to learn. Multiple browsers, multiple platforms, executing in other machines, and we will be getting Java, HTML, manual, overviews. Even in the interviews, one minute. If you are going for interviews, you should be able to explain everything. I will explain some concepts, some questions. While explaining the concepts itself, I will tell you what are the different types of questions which can be posed for it. Okay. So that all these things we can integrate with our course. By end of this course, you will be, what you will be having? A master's in test automation. Right? Are we going to discuss only Selenium here? Hello?
No, no,
Is it
No,
good?
no.
no.
Is it good to discuss all the things as part of the course?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I'd like to share only two things. So you can get all this course and you'll get the daily recording videos, so that in the GoToMeeting itself we can record it. As you can see, this demo session is also recorded. I will share the recordings with you. Since there is a recording, you can see the recordings anytime and you can ask me the doubts. That is the second thing. And the third thing is, don't say like, yeah, my training is done, I'm not able to contact my trainer. You can contact me anytime, even after the training, and you can clarify your doubts. And I will support you in writing it if you are facing any difficulties even after the training. Okay, that is the third thing I would like to ask. And the fourth thing is, I would like to write the scripts in any one of your machines, so that no worries for installation, softwares and all. And the fifth thing is, since there are so many tech stack, if you are articulating your resume with all this tech stack, I'm pretty much sure you will get a job, because every time you go for a job, there is a job description, right? Have anyone seen it? JD. If your resume is matching the job description, why he will not give you a job? Right?
That's not only the criteria. They also ask for experience, and they ask in individual technology how many years of experience you have.
That's what, that's why I integrated some other things, right? If I are
Mm.
going only with Selenium, that's what I'm going to say. If you are going only with the Selenium, no one will take you. That's why I have integrated some other tech stack as part of the course, so that everything is a tool. TestNG is a library, Maven is a library, Jenkins is a library, and Log4j extent reports. These are all not with Selenium. Okay, so that experience comes, when experience comes, even though if someone is working in a company, they will do the task daily, so that they will face so many issues, they will get experience. In the same way, when I am explaining the examples in the class, when you are getting recordings, you can implement the same approach. Ask me, give me some assignments, I want to do and automate some application with the concept. So you can do automation on any website, not only single website. I want to say, on any website you can go ahead and do automation, and if you are not able to do, I am there to help you, so that you can get experience in this way, right? The same thing, you can automate any applications. I will help you. That is the sixth thing I would like to share. Course content, I think pretty much I'll explain on a high level. There are so many sub concepts for each and everything. You want to ask me any questions?